Okay, what I want to do next is bore you to death, as I haven't done a good job of it now. Many of you had the opportunity to see the slide presentation on May 31st. I showed it at the high school to show you what I was going to be presenting to the Pacific Northwest. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. Some of you have seen the slides that I brought back from the PNW, and some of you haven't. So what we're going to do this evening is we're going to go over those slides. Okay, now we're at the Pacific Northwest. These are shots that I took on a trip from June 5th to June 9th, 1997. This is Larry Lund. He's known as the Sasquatch Sleuth. This is in his basement office located in Vancouver, Washington. Larry has a tremendous amount of videotapes, audio tapes, photos, books, the whole 9 yards, plaster casts that he has collected over his 30-plus years of research into the Bigfoot phenomenon. Larry was kind enough to let myself, Marc DeWerth, John Horrigan, and Chuck Storrie stay at his place for the 2 days we were in the Vancouver, Washington area, by the way. This is Ray Crowe. He was here last September. He's the director of the Western Bigfoot Society in Portland, Oregon, which has now moved to Hillsboro, Oregon. He recently sold his bookstore in downtown Portland, as he had been trying to do for quite a while, and now has a new location in Hillsboro, Oregon. His newsletter, The Track Record, goes out to hundreds of people across, well, it's international, and he's just sitting here relaxing, probably thinking, why are you taking my picture again? I didn't answer him, but anyway. Larry also has five other members of his family that normally hang around, and he keeps them in a close area, under a close eye, and they are the Simpsons. They don't eat much, they don't give him any lip, you know, and so, whatever. This is Larry in the background. You know, he kind of looks like he's drunk, but no. He's going. See you later, Dave. Hey, sorry about my joke, man. Don't leave because of that. Anyway, that's Larry talking with Mr. Peter Byrne. First evening we were there. This is Skinhead with Peter Byrne. Okay, that's that. This is a Bigfoot that Larry keeps in his garden to scare away the predators. Actually, this is a Bigfoot cut out of plywood that Rob Butler has done. He decorated the eyes and painted on the beard and all this, the fingernails, the toenails, and all that. And there it is. You know, that's all I got to say about that one. This is a group of the five of us: Chuck Storrie, John Horrigan, yours truly, Marc DeWerth, and this is Rob Butler. He's from Milwaukee, Oregon. He has what he calls Sasquatch artworks. Many of you, if you get the newsletter, the Track Record, have seen his business card in the newsletter on many occasions. Yeah. Again, another shot of Peter Byrne and I. I figured I took the slides, you know, throw them in there. What the heck? I got to say about Peter Byrne. You know, he headed the Bigfoot Research Project from August of '92 until late April of 1997. You know, you hear a lot about these various researchers from the East Coast if you live on the West Coast, and you hear a lot about the various researchers on the West Coast that live on the East Coast. Right, okay. I was wondering if I said that right. I said it too fast. I must say, in all honesty, everybody that we met out there, Byrne, Krantz, Dahinden, Greenwell, John Green, you know, everybody that's a well-known name that we met out there was very nice to us, and we had a lot of fun with them. This is in the basement of Ray's bookstore, which no longer is in existence because he doesn't own it anymore. Ray was doing with an interview with this lady. Do you remember what her name was? Bollet was her last name.
Yeah, like fruitcake Bollet.
That's it, yeah. Chuck and I don't know what that is. Anyway,
Texas Cyclosoma sanguinata.
Right. Whatever. And John Horrigan. You know, and that's just a small part of Ray's exhibits on the walls that he had in his meeting room. This is what they call Multnomah Falls. I was particularly interested in visiting this area when I was out there because we have one of a kind, I believe, in our family, and that is a painting that an artist did. It's an original painting back in the very early 1900s. This is a national park, a national landmark. Multnomah Falls is 621 feet from top to bottom. It's a two-tier waterfall, as you can see. This bridge was built in the early 1900s. It is the 5th highest waterfall in existence in North America, and is the 2nd highest waterfall in existence in North America that runs year-round. It's another shot of the falls, as much of it as I could get in that one picture. As you can see, it's very high. I'd be somewhat interested to see what the terrain looks like up there above, because there's got to be a tremendous water source up there somewhere. Yeah. Okay, we're shifting gears a little bit, moving north about 220 miles. This is the skyline with the mountains in the background of downtown Vancouver, British Columbia. Where I shot this slide was on the property of the H.R. McMillan Planetarium. The H.R. McMillan Planetarium is where the 5th Annual Sasquatch Symposium was held. This is again Ray Crowe speaking at the symposium. Kokanee is a beer company located in British Columbia, and Kokanee Beer sponsored the symposium with $500 to help cover the cost of the symposium. Here you have Dr. Grover Krantz. She talked about the meow. I don't remember what country it was in, but yeah, China, right. He's talking about how the Chinese handcuffed him. No, not really. I made that up. Don't take it seriously. This is Henry Franzoni, the moderator of the internet, a lot of the different Bigfoot web pages on it. I thought Henry was the kind of person that believed in a physical flesh and blood creature, and then when they had the so-called great debate, the paranormal versus the conventional, the last night of the symposium, I learned that Henry actually believes that the Sasquatch is a non-physical flesh and blood creature. So, for what it's worth.
Find out about any audio or video of that meeting?
Of what?
Did you ever, you was going to talk to someone, see if they had audio tape or video tape of that debate?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. No. No. Let me check into it. In fact, let me put a teaser or something about it in the newsletter. Let me ask Larry Lund. He might have a copy of it. I don't know if they handed it. Yeah.
Most conventions videotape the entire thing and then they sell that to you.
Well, they were going to do that, but at the last minute they didn't. For,
right?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know. So this is Scott Harriet. Those of you who saw him in April of this year here, remember him. He was thinking, what is that jerk doing taking my picture again? Either that or feeling that rock in the bottom of his chin or whatever. Scott and I had a lot of fun during the symposium because Scott operated the audio video equipment for me when I give my presentation, and I don't know, you just have to see the videotape of when I spoke, but we did a pretty good comedic deal back and forth about him not being able to get the audio and video equipment running up there in the booth. And where am I going with this? I'm just stalling to see where I'm at. That's right. This is Todd Neese, Sergeant Todd Neese. Some of you, or many of you, should remember his story that was featured on Unsolved Mysteries about the military blasting crew, and then he, and as it turns out, a couple of other military personnel saw 3 Sasquatches. One was somewhat smaller than the other 2 that were with it. Next one here, this is Veronica and Peggy's favorite Mexican dancer. Yes, Daniel Perez. He was. Calm down now, kids. Daniel Perez was the moderator at the Sasquatch Symposium. I guess some people really hammered on him. I mean, not during the symposium, but Dahinden told me that they might as well just have cut the guy's throat because of the way he conducted himself and the way he ran the symposium. And I'm here to tell you, I don't think he did that bad a job. He did a good job with. He was a little long-winded. I know some people are long-winded. No names mentioned, Marc DeWerth. But I thought he did all right. I'm sure he'll be back next year if there is a symposium next year.
They were more upset over the paranormal stuff.
Oh, be quiet.
That's what they were complaining about.
No. They were complaining about him too.
Because he was wearing his John Travolta suit.
No, I don't know. No. That was Rob Lowe.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe's.
But Perez was the MC of the whole symposium. He did compliment me. I was quite surprised about that. He said that I put out a newsletter. He said Richard Greenwell of the International Society of Cryptozoology should learn a lesson from me because no, I'm just telling you what he said now. Show up. He said, you don't even know who Richard Greenwell is, do you? Huh? Not Richard Myers. Richard Greenwell. Let me finish what he said. He said that Greenwell should take a lesson off of my habits on getting my newsletter out in a timely manner because...
Oh, really?
With the exception of August this year. He said because the ISC is so far behind every time that it puts out one of its journals. Perez told me, Greenwell didn't... Yeah, I know. I guess Perez told me that Greenwell didn't like that comment too well. But, when I looked at the list of people that were going to be speaking at the symposium, I thought, man, there's a lot of fruitcakes on this list. And some people could say, not me. No, thanks, Brian. Some people could say there was a lot of quacks that were listed on the list of speakers, and I found one of them the first day I got there. It's right there. That was one of the speakers. It's a duck. Quacks?
Yeah. Quacks?
All right.
Next slide.
You guys won't.
You didn't say quacks, though.
Yes, it did. I said quacks. Get out of here, Brian.
You said quacks or something.
Anyway, this is the planetarium. That's the H.R. McMillan Planetarium on the left-hand side, and that's the Vancouver skyline and the mountains in the background. We were there, I guess, during one of the nicest periods of weather that they've had most of the summer. This is, hey, DeWerth, who's this fruitcake?
That's Jack of all trades.
I don't think so. This is Mr. DeWerth back here, and he was speaking about the April 20th, 1997 incident that took place out there at the Rose Creek area when he filmed for about 11 minutes something that was in the underbrush, and he was talking about that there. This and this is some big mouth, okay? This is Jody Cook. I tried to take a still photograph, a print photo, and a slide photo of all the speakers that I personally sat there and listened to. And the print photo I took of Cook, he was just standing there with his hands, I don't know, outstretched or whatever. I put down the camera for the print for a minute, picked up the camera for the slide for a minute, and as I was doing that, he was picking up a plaster cast. And this is the cast, of course, that he had. And he didn't give a history at all about where this plaster cast came from, but I can only assume that it came from the Cincinnati area. I'm not going to talk about
Where's he from?
Pardon me?
Who is this guy? Where's he from?
His name is Jody Cook. He is the director of the Ohio Bigfoot Research Group, as he calls his organization. He's from Cincinnati.
George Platt put out a book together, supposedly, the Ohio Grassland.
He's from Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah, Cincinnati, Ohio. This is yours truly with Dr. Robert Michael Pyle. This is the fellow who wrote the book, Where Bigfoot Walks, Crossing the Dark Divide. He's a naturalist from Grays River, Washington State. Marc DeWerth happened to take a copy of some sounds that we had recorded in April of this year out to British Columbia with him. I didn't know that until we were standing in the hallway of the auditorium, or the hallway of the planetarium, talking with Pyle. And he played the sounds for Bob Pyle, and Pyle said that he cannot identify them. And this is a man who spent hundreds, if not thousands of hours in the woods by himself in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest, and has heard many a sound come out of the woods. The sound that we recorded the night of the April meeting and the May meeting were very similar, and he said that he cannot identify what the sounds are. So that leads a bit of interesting thought to the sound that we picked up. This is just in the parking lot of the planetarium. That's Richard Greenwell right there. I don't know who this guy is. That's John Horrigan.
Lighting up the smoke.
Yeah. I just took the shot to show some of the people coming out of the planetarium, some of the cars up there.
It was absolutely beautiful up there.
Yeah, it was. The weather was perfect. The temperature was perfect. Horrigan was overdressed. I wouldn't have worn a jacket. But
He's from Boston.
Boston. That's right. So this is myself along with Tom Steenberg.
He never smiles.
Who's Steenberg or me?
Steenberg.
Oh, okay.
Big picture I see of him.
Steenberg is from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and he has written a book called Sasquatch in Alberta, and I'm not quite sure. I don't think he's done in the process of writing another one, but anyway, that's Steenberg. I was interested in meeting him because he had received my newsletter for a good number of years.
Anybody from the Midwest there?
No, just myself, Jody Cook, Chuck and Mark, and then John Horrigan from Boston.
No one from Michigan or Indiana?
Nope. Well, there was, yeah, I take it back. There was a guy from Indiana. I don't remember what his name was. Doug McCoy was from Indiana. He was there. There was another guy from Indiana. Remember what his name was?
Preacher Jack.
The guy with the long hair.
Yeah, he's like a preacher or something.
I don't remember what his name was.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's me with Dr. Grover Krantz. I talked to Krantz. I was particularly interested in asking him about the kill method, or finding a dead body in the woods. And on a lot of interviews you hear Krantz say that if you cannot produce a full body, at least take some important parts of one. If you ever find a dead corpse in the woods, dead body in the woods. And to make a long story short, he said, yes, if you ever do find one, you cannot get it out of the woods, or if it's really decayed bad, what you should do is take one of the hands, one of the feet, and take the head. And if you cannot get the head, do your best to get the lower jaw, the entire thing of the head. That way, you can identify it. But Krantz, he was a nice guy. He's a real nice person. I never really talked to him or hardly any of the other people out there that I met about the Sasquatch in Ohio. But
he always has the same thing on the same topic.